Hey, Miss Marion here. We're going to go ahead and talk about slopes and then how to find them through graphs. So make sure that you have a note page and let's go ahead and go through this. So our I-can statement is I can find the slope of a given, if given a graph. All right, so first of all, let's talk about rate of change. Rate of change is a fraction or ratio with any number in the denominator. Okay, so remember the denominator is the bottom part of a fraction. So a great example is, so as an example, we have 3/2, maybe 7/10, 1/4. So notice how all of these are, they're just fractions, but a rate of change, we're going to talk about a little bit later as far as slopes, but we need to kind of understand it as far as rate of change. All right, so now we want to talk about a slope. A slope actually comes from a line, and today we're going to be looking at graphs, lines on graphs actually itself. But the definition as far as slope, one definition, we have a couple of them. So one is difference of the y over difference of the x. Another definition as far as slope is vertical distance over horizontal distance. And then the last thing we're going to talk about as far as slope is considered the m, and that comes from the equation. But today we're just going to be looking at graphs. So here are different lines on a graph. If we look at this first one here, this one is a positive slope, and it is increasing. The next one here is a negative slope, and it is decreasing. Next, this one is a slope of 0. It's not no slope, it's 0, so like the number 0. And then the last one is what is called undefined. And there's a reason for that. I'm not going to go into it a ton, but at least we're going to kind of understand these different graphs. So to kind of help us remember, this is the slope, dude. It's kind of remember the different things. Here's our positive. Oops, sorry. Let's go ahead. Here's our positive slope. Here is our negative slope. Here is the undefined, is the nose, and then the mouth is the 0. So it's just a way of remembering our different slopes is kind of through the slope dude. So now let's actually go into what we're going to learn for today. So here we have a line on a graph, and what I want to do is I want to pick a point. So notice how it's on the line, but also it's on the graph behind it, and it really doesn't matter where we pick those points. I'm just going to pick 2 points. So I'm going to pick this one up here, and I'm going to pick this one down here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a slope triangle. We're going to make a right triangle. See how this is a slope triangle. And then I'm going to find out the vertical distance. So how far is the vertical? If we look at it, it's 1, 2, so it's 2. How far is the horizontal? 1, 2. Actually, I'm going to put that in a different color. 2. And remember, our slope, we're looking for our slope. So our slope is our vertical distance over our horizontal distance So our vertical distance again is our 2. Horizontal distance again is a 2. And then anytime we have a fraction, we always want to reduce this down. Does 2 divided by 2 reduce down? Well, stick it in your calculator. Tell it to simplify. Or just press enter. And this is going to be 1 or 1 over 1. And when we're dealing with slopes, we want to keep them in fraction form. The last thing we want to go ahead and figure out is about this slope. So is the slope going up the hill or down the hill? This is a negative slope. We can actually look at that as far as our slope dude. This is a negative slope. Yes, we have 1 over 1, but we need to make this a negative 1 over 1. And it doesn't matter where we put the 1. We can put the 1 above, on the top. We can put it on the bottom. We can also put it in front of our fraction. But this is a negative slope because if we read it from left to right, it is going down the hill. Let's look at example number 2. So it says find the slope. So again, we're going to go ahead and pick 2 points on this graph. I'm going to pick this one. Why? Notice how it is both on the line and then also on the grid behind it. And then I'm going to come up here, and again, I'm going to pick this point because again, it's on the line, but it's also on the grid behind it where they kind of cross. So again, I'm going to draw my slope triangle. Doesn't matter where we draw it, as long as we draw a right triangle between the two. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to find out my vertical. So my vertical up and down, so 1, 2. And I want to find my horizontal, 1, 2, 3. So then again, my slope is vertical distance over horizontal distance so my vertical distance, so that is the up and down, is 2. Horizontal distance is 3. So I have 2 over 3, and then the last thing I'm going to ask, 1, is this going up the hill or down the hill? This is going up the hill, so it's going to be a positive 2 over 3. And then can I reduce that fraction down? Put it in your calculator, press enter. Oh, it doesn't. It's going to be 2 over 3. And again, we're going to leave it in fraction form. No matter what, we're going to leave it as like a number over a number as far as slopes. All right, here's example number 3. We already have the points on here. So let's draw our slope triangle. Let's try that again. That's better. So we're going to go ahead and let's find our vertical, 1, 2, 3. Horizontal, 1, 2, 3, 4. So again, our slope is our vertical distance over horizontal distance vertical is up and down. That number is 3, so vertical distance is 3. Horizontal distance is back and forth. That is 4. Again, is this going up the hill or down the hill? This is going up the hill because we read it from left to right. So this is going to be a positive 3 over 4. And then can I reduce this down? Put 3 over 4 in your calculator, press enter. Oh, it does not simplify any further, so it's 3 over 4. And then let's go ahead and here's example number 4. Can I draw a slope triangle on here? I can't, okay? So if we go back to our picture, this slope is 0. So the way I like to look at it is if I was sitting on my sled, let's try that again. I was sitting on my sled outside my house. There's no wind. There's nobody touching me. I'm just sitting on my sled going, wee. Am I going any distance? I'm not. So remember, it's a vertical distance over a horizontal distance. I'm not moving, there's no distance. So this slope is 0. It's not no slope, the slope is 0. All right, so we've gone over our different examples. If you don't understand this, go ahead and pause, go back and go through it again. Our homework is find slope from a graph worksheet. So you should also be given that. Go ahead and put it into Canvas, and then I'll see you guys later. Have a good day. Bye.